What's happening, folks out there? Broadcasting live to you and yours. You are listening or watching another episode of the Game and Watch podcast. This is episode number 94. Oh man, we're almost at episode 100.
Closing in.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, closing in on that. All right. I'm Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool. I am joined once again by my main man, the F Man, RView Gaming himself, OVG, Finest Dabs.
Yo, what's going on, people?
And back with us again today, we got from the Loading Bar podcast, Max Hines. How you doing,
Hey, everybody.
Max?
Doing pretty good. As I was saying before the show, burned to a crisp, but
Oh, you got sunburn. All right. Just a reminder, folks, if you are listening to the show, you can go ahead and watch the show on any of our platforms, whichever one you may choose. There will be a link to the video in the show notes if you do want to watch the show. If you're watching the show, feel free to podcast the show on any platform that we're available on. We're available on almost platforms, so let's go ahead, check us out there. If you want to email the show at gameandwatchpodcast@gmail.com. For those of you that are watching us live streaming, we will read your comments at the end of the show. And by the way, we have a Patreon. Definitely support us on Patreon. Any dollar donated to our Patreon will make this a better show for all. And with that being said, no, I'm not forgetting anything else. How you doing, Max? And what you playing this week?
I'm doing pretty good, apart from the searing pain and looking like a Fallout ghoul when I take my shirt off. But yeah, doing pretty good. Playing a lot of Turtles. That has really been the biggest thing that's taken up my time. I've made sure I maxed out every character. I'm starting arcade, which incredibly difficult. But so far, that's really just been taking up a ton of my time. It's quick, it's easy. You jump in, you're ready to go. Love it.
All right, yeah, no, that's good. Definitely. You not playing anything else? Just Turtles? That's about it.
I mean, a little bit of Lord of the Rings, Lego Lord of the Rings, just on Steam. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, and then F Man, what you playing? I know we just did a last show 2 days ago, so I don't think much has changed. But
No, actually, like since Wednesday, I mean, I haven't even had an opportunity to hop on games.
I didn't think so, but
yeah, I have had no rest. I've been up all night with my wife and the new little one, keeping us up. Yeah, but I look forward to hopping on some games this weekend. And I did purchase the DNF, the Dual Fighters game. I decided but yeah, I picked that up. So that's a fighting game that we talked about on last week's or on Wednesday's podcast. And yeah, so hopefully I look forward to getting into that. I'm hearing great things about it.
Yeah, I mean, as for me, not too much has really changed with my playing habits. I played a little bit more Turtles, and then I also Live Alive. We're gonna talk about that later in our main discussion, but I downloaded the demo of that. Game looks pretty sweet. Not sure if I'm gonna buy it on day one, but I mean, hey, I'll take any demos that come out these days. I'll take what I can get. I was hoping the demo would be a little bit longer because the last demo I downloaded from Square Enix was the Dragon Quest game, and they gave you at least 15 hours with that demo. I know it's a really long game, but hey, to play a game like that for 15 hours,
Hmm.
that's pretty sweet. So I mean, and then I downloaded one of your favorite games that we played a while back on your PS4, Broforce.
Oh, I love Broforce. That
Yeah,
is
it was
such a
dirt
good
cheap.
game.
It was dirt cheap on the Switch eShop. It was only like $3. They're having a big sale right now for those of you listening and have a Switch. So definitely check
Yeah.
out what they have on the eShop. But it was yeah, I couldn't pass that up. That
Yeah, if you have not played Broforce, like if you have any type of nostalgia, if you like a quick shooter that's reminiscent of Metal
Action
Slug
Heroes.
or Action Heroes, yeah, that's a good one also. It's very much like that, but it's all pixelated. They have a ton of different characters. They have like RoboCop, they have Rambo, they have all these
Mr. T,
all
Judge
these
Dredd,
characters
Chuck Norris, Chuck.
in
Yeah,
pixelated
Blade.
form, and they all have different abilities.
Yeah,
And the
it's
game,
fun.
it's so much fun.
It's
You can play
fun.
4 players, I believe.
Yeah, it's up to four
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, but that game is so much. I haven't played that game in a while. Thank you.
Yeah.
We may have to jump back on that. Just maybe not on Switch.
I know. The Switch gets its rap for, it's a bad online play, but we're gonna talk a little bit of Switch today. Well, yeah, what Nintendo had to offer with the Direct Mini, whether you're a Switch fan or not, hopefully you watched it because I mean, there's some of these. Well, they're third party games. Some of these games are actually coming to other platforms, so just a reminder there. And with all that out of the way, that's going to be our main discussion. And we're also going to talk about what company we feel is most ready for the holiday 2022. Just yes, first party, third party, who is ready, who isn't ready. We'll get into all that. But first, let's get into the gaming news callouts. And first, we're going to start on a sad note. Bernie Stoller, I think I said his name right. Um, he's pretty much a gaming pioneer. He worked with Atari back in the 80s. Then he worked with Sony in the 90s. And then eventually he went to Sega. He helped launch the Dreamcast at 199, and I guess that infuriated Sega of Japan because they wanted it at 249, and then he was eventually let go for that. Um, but bottom line, he did a lot for the gaming industry. He was responsible for getting Crash Bandicoot, Ridge Racer, and Spyro the Dragon onto the Sony platform. He enforced a no RPG policy during his time there because he felt that the technology wasn't there, and most of them being 2D, he just wanted 3D stuff. And then, like I said before, what he's most famous for is how the Dreamcast would be priced in the U.S., even though Japan wanted it higher. But if it was higher, in my opinion, it probably would have been a little sooner, if you ask
Well,
me.
it kind of did, but yeah,
Yeah, I
sooner,
mean,
sooner.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's sooner. Um, so just figured I'd say that before we get started with the rest of the show. Any thoughts on Bernie Stoller? May him rest in peace.
Man wore a lot of hats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he did.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, just being like the first president of Sony Computer Entertainment America, and
yeah.
just like really like bringing the PlayStation forefront to us.
Hmm.
I mean, that means like that's crazy to me because it's just like at that time, like back in the day, like Sony was partnered with Nintendo before they came out with the
Yeah.
Sony PlayStation.
Mhm.
So, I wish there was like almost a documentary in like finding out his role in determining like not to work with Nintendo
Yeah.
and having and just seeing how everything came out, how it did. I think that would be like a wonderful documentary if there's like still some way to pull that background information. But at the same time, I really like would want to see like the multiverse of madness, like if that Nintendo system did come out and like that route and what could have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's had a lot of hats. I mean, like Max was saying,
Hmm.
he's part of Dreamcast, and it's coming, and as you also said, Justin, and yeah, it's he's just impacted the medium so much, and I don't
Yeah.
really think that people will ever really know how much he's really done for
Yeah,
video games in general.
yeah. I'm sure he did a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So, I mean, definitely thank you for your contribution to, this whole industry, man. And, rest in peace. We're thinking of you. So, going to get into what's coming out for these consoles. First, we'll start with Xbox. Game Pass, of course. They have a lot coming out this month. I'm just going to go over some of the bigger titles. We have the article in front of us. If there's a title you do want to share, feel free. F1 22 is available today. Match Point Tennis Championships coming out July 7th. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Series coming out July 8th. Power Wash Simulator, where's Mark when you need him? July 14th. I know he's excited about that one. As Dusk Falls, July 19th. Also July 19th. Hot Wheels DLC. The Hot Wheels DLC for Forza Horizon 5, excuse me. July 26th, Immortality. Digimon Survive is coming out July 29th, along with RimWorld Console Edition. And then I guess a couple other games to note. Also available today since we're on July 1st. Almost My Floor is available. And Renzo Racer. And according to this also, might want to fact check me on this one. Far Cry 5 is also available today. So I'm just going to go over the
It's
ones
right there
that-
on screen. Yep. You're
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So I'm just going to do the ones that are coming out today. Because I know some of the. Oh, and then I guess one other note: July 5th, Arcade Geddon is coming. So, any games out there that our people should be looking forward to or should download? Start with you, Max.
What really caught my eye was Klonoa. I know that this is kind of like I think this is like a remake of like the first two games. But yeah, this is interesting. The first time I've ever seen this, it looked to me like a cross between Zelda, Sonic in terms of, I guess, character model and style, and like the side scrolling of Mario. And yeah, I'd be totally sold for that for sure. And then Arcade Geddon actually looks kind of cool. I'm interested to see a little bit more about that. Just kind of when it drops on July 5th there.
Yeah.
And yeah, Forza Hot Wheels DLC. That Hot Wheels game, man, I haven't gotten it yet, but the more and more I
The
see
Hot
about
Wheels.
it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know the DLC for the Hot Wheels game actually went on sale. I'm probably not gonna pick it up. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to play it. I'm just being honest. But speaking of Hot Wheels, Finance, you're a big Hot Wheels fan. Are you gonna jump back into Forza Horizon 5 later this month and play some Forza with some Hot Wheels?
That is a great question. I was looking at the prices because since I don't have Game Pass anymore, and it's actually pretty
Yeah.
expensive. It's like purchasing like a full price game. I think it was actually like ended up being like $63 without Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little on the pricier side if I wanted to do that, but probably not initially. When I up my Game Pass subscription in a couple months, I'll probably jump in at some point, but not right off the bat. So
Yeah, well, I know for me with that, GameStop had a sale last week. I was
Yeah.
able to snag Forza Horizon 5 for less than $40. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so that definitely use that $5 coupon when purchasing stuff at GameStop. Take advantage of that, And then just another thing. So I will be jumping back into Forza Horizon 5 at some point. Maybe not this month. But in terms of other games, I think people should check out Arcade Geddon. We're going to be talking about that a little later in a bit. But also Far Cry 5, I think is very underrated. If you're a fan of the Far Cry series and picked it up in a while, definitely give it a try. I mean, I enjoyed it when I played it a couple years back. It's a little older now, so yeah, definitely check it out. But a lot of good titles coming to the Xbox Game Pass this month, throughout the
Yeah.
month. So we'll
There's
definitely
a
have that
lot.
article. Yeah, there's a whole lot, a whole lot for me to even just read. So
Yeah, they almost have a game for like every day of the month.
yeah, it's we're gonna definitely leave that for you guys in the show notes or description. So definitely check it out. Speaking of Xbox, we'll stick with them for a moment longer. Games with Gold. We got 4 games available. Beast of Maravilla Island, Relicta, Relic, Relicta. I think that's. I hope I said it right. Thrillville Off the Rails, and Torchlight. It's going to be part of July's Games with Gold. Let's see. Beast of Maravilla Island is available from July 1st to the 31st. Relicta, July 16th through August 15th. Thrillville, July 1st through July 15th. And Torchlight, July 16th through July 31st. I think just by looking at the covers and based on what I would play, I think the most interesting game here is Thrillville Off the Rails. Otherwise, I know Torchlight is a bit older as it was on 2 generations ago on the 360. Do you guys do you have any familiarity with any of these games?
No, actually, I don't. I think you just said it, but Torchlight was the one I'm most familiar with. But yeah, no, really haven't played any of these smaller games. But I don't know. Games of Gold has been kind of on the weaker side lately.
Yeah, it really has. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to try it out, people, definitely email us if there's a game worth playing. Like I said, Thrillville Off the Rails. I mean, looks the most interesting to me. Anyway, so we'll just move on to PlayStation and the Essential. So even though they have their new PlayStation Plus program with the premium and the extra, Essential they'll still be giving you 3 games. So it's going to be pretty much like the base PlayStation Plus we've been getting all along. Just so you guys are familiar with it. So we got 3 titles coming this month for the PS5 and PS4. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time they put this on PlayStation Plus. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's about time is the title. Well, it's about time to put out the Crash Bandicoot 4 because it was a long gap between 3 and 4
Yeah.
when it comes to that. That's going to be for the PS5 and PS4. Let's see. Man of Medan. It's on. I think I said it right. That's going to be on the PS4, and then game we just talked about, Arcade Geddon, PS5 and PS4. I'm downloading Arcade Geddon since I got PlayStation Plus. I guess I could download it on both since I re-upped my Game Pass for 1 more month here. But so I mean, definitely they look like solid games for the most part. Oh, correction on the title: Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan. So otherwise, with the exception of Arcade Geddon, should anyone give Crash Bandicoot 4 a try?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is solid.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still run into some of the problems you run into with the old Crash Bandicoots, and like terms of views and things like that. The jumping mimics the old Crash Bandicoot games a lot, which isn't like maybe the best jumping mechanics. Yeah, but I mean, Crash Bandicoot's a solid game. Was that Toys for Bob that did that one?
Toys for Bob.
Before they got folded into the rest of Microsoft, they were making just wonderful remakes of games. So any of their games you should absolutely check out. Crash Bandicoot being one of them for sure.
All
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
And then Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan. Do you guys know much about this game? I'll be honest with you, I'm not too familiar with it.
Like a little bit. I think. Have you guys ever heard of? Oh God, Until Dawn.
Until Dawn? Oh yeah.
I think it's similar to that, where there's different branching pathways. It's very cinematic, story driven, various endings, very creepy, lots of characters, and just in a kind of like a horror movie setting, as far as I know. But yeah, I've heard some pretty good things about it, and if you're into that kind of really isolated horror, story driven character type of game, definitely check that out.
Okay, definitely. Well, those are the games there. So definitely plenty of games on both Xbox and PlayStation to check out for the month of July. Oh wait, Nintendo has some stuff too. They added some more games to their Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack service, and looks like they have not forgotten that the Genesis is on there as well. As we got four games, four retro games coming for the Sega Genesis or for the Nintendo Switch Online, and this is a pretty solid lineup if you ask
Mm-hmm.
me. Comic
Hmm.
Zone,
Oh yeah.
Target Earth, Zero Wing, and the big one you should probably play, Finest, Mega Man: The Wily Wars.
Hmm. Hmm.
Let me dip into Mega Man: The Wily Wars. It is a 16-bit enhanced remake of the first three Mega Man games. Pretty much just the same thing for the most part. The graphics look better, obviously, since it's on a Genesis and not an NES. Once you beat those three games, you get it unlocks a fourth game, and then you pretty much select your powers going into that fourth game from all of the other bosses you beat in the first three games. So you can pretty much use any power up you want,
Oh
and then
wow.
just go at it. It's actually pretty cool, but it takes a long time because you got to beat for first three games.
Yeah, you have to beat
uh,
Mega Man 1 to 3.
yeah, but it was originally on the Sega Channel. I don't know if anyone remembers that back in the day. The Sega Channel, at least here in the U.S. I'm not sure about Canada. And then it was available in the PAL region and Japan physically. So if you lived in the U.S., unfortunately, you really didn't get a chance to play this game unless you had the Sega Channel. And like I said, it's a pretty long game. You know, obviously no save states or anything back then. So pretty much once you turn that thing off, that kind of was it. So that's a little bit of history there on Mega Man and the Wily Wars. So kind of, if anything, if you ask me, just looking back on it, I do appreciate Sega's attempt of doing like online gaming games at a service back then. But yeah, in terms
Yeah, no, I mean, this lineup is pretty good. I mean, just if you're talking about like old retro games, Mega
yeah,
Man Wily Wars, it came out what 3 years ago.
yeah,
Um,
2 years ago, a few years ago now on the Sega Genesis Mini.
yeah, so it's
Yeah,
awesome that they're re-releasing it, so it's more accessible to more people. Yeah,
yeah,
and that's like one of the few Mega Mans that I have not played. So I love me some Mega Man, and
yeah. We're gonna be talking more Mega Man
Nice.
later.
and yeah, I don't know if I have the patience for it as much anymore. So I don't know if I don't know if I play all three games through and through.
Yeah, it's
But
a
that's
pretty long
awesome.
game. It's a pretty
And then Comic Zone, which we
Oh
see
Comic
yeah.
Zone. That
on screen right now. This is a game that I fiended for when the Genesis came out. Like I was like, this, I want this game so bad, and it's like the ultimate like evolution of like a unique side scroll brawler. I know we've been talking about Ninja Turtles a lot.
yeah,
This is very much that, but it's only one player. But the game was just so much fun. It was really cool. Just a really cool idea. I still haven't seen anything like it done since, and I would love
Yeah.
to see kind of something done like it again. I think Beautiful Joe may be like the closest thing that I can
hmm
think
Okay.
of,
Yeah.
like off the top of my head, that like kind of reminds me of it. But they're still very, very, very different games.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, this is a pretty strong lineup. I'm yeah, just the games overall are pretty nice and good retro games. So
yeah.
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 Hopefully they could do
Absolutely.
that for the Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I know we've gotten mostly what you're gonna get out of those consoles, but
Hmm.
I think they do have a few hidden gems left that they could put on there. But I mean, for Sega, this is a solid lineup. Hopefully they keep it up. And Sega has a lot in the vault, so I mean, it's I'm looking forward to see what they got. Speaking of Sega, we'll stick with Sega just for a minute. Retrobit has announced this is a kind of old article about a week ago, but we figured we'd talk about it since I'm a big controller head. Retrobit and Sega, they have put out a line of Sega Genesis controllers. So I guess they finally put out a controller that meshes the original three-button controller with three extra buttons on top. I don't know if you can pull up a photo there, Finest, but they got a new controller coming out, a new six-button controller. They're calling it the Big Six control pad because the original Genesis controller was a pretty big, fat, beefy controller, and I can honestly tell you, I'll just say my piece on it first. I think it looks ugly. I don't like it. I think the original 6 button controller, I have it here in my drawer, is a lot better than 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 the 6 button one that they're putting out. So for those of you guys who love Genesis products, love their new controllers, they are coming out with a new Big Six control pad. Um, Finest, are you going to use this to play any of your Genesis classics that you have on your PS4?
You know what? Probably not. I'm not much of a controller guy. I know, like you, Mark, and Ted, and a couple other people on the podcast talk about like how you have like 50 controllers. No, I only buy what's necessary. I buy like if I like I make sure I have about 4 controllers per system, just for those those 4-player games that come up every once in a while whenever family comes
Mhm.
over, and otherwise. But other than that, no, I'm really not. I'm really not picking up any extra controllers beyond that.
Ooh.
That's
How about you?
the size a 6 button controller needs to be. It doesn't need to be super big. Well, how about
Mhm.
you, Max? What do you think of the new Big Six controller?
You know what? Like again, like much like Finest, I'm not a big controller guy. I
Aw.
just purchase what I need. The only real thing I have to say about this is I noticed, or reading the article, the home button and the select button are on the bottom, and I don't know if you got dogs, if you got like I don't know unsteady hands, or you like to just kind of put it on your lap or any sort of motion. Like I don't want to constantly be hit back to the home screen of like the Switch or like back to the PlayStation Network just because I don't know I bumped it or something like that. That's really like the biggest kind of I don't know design irk that I have with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it looks. I don't, you guys are looking at it on screen now for those watching,
Yeah.
and I just don't. Maybe this is just the Super Nintendo kid in me, but I just never really liked the original 3 button controllers. One, I just
Yeah.
never. I just didn't understand, like looking back on it now, how a 16-bit console only had 3 buttons to begin with, especially like with fighting games. It was just a
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, front.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely a necessary controller for
Yeah,
sure.
it's
Like
necessary.
the 6 button should be the standard
Yeah.
controller for the Genesis in
Mm.
general. Like the fact that they came out with a 3 button controller and then the 6 button is kind of like blasphemy. But the like even if you don't use all the buttons, like the 6 should just be the
It should.
standard. Um, but yeah, it's I have no reason to pick it up. I mean, if I'm gonna play a Sega Genesis game, yes, or one of my Sega Genesis systems or something like
Mm.
that, yeah. Of course I would make sure I would have at least one 6 button
Mhm.
controller.
Get
But
the
other than
smaller
that,
one.
yeah. Oh, you mean the
Yeah,
mini?
well, the one I just held up, the one
Oh, the one you
yeah,
just
yeah,
showed. Yeah,
just
yeah.
get that one. It's fine for me. I love it. It feels nice, and I think it's really the best way to play Genesis games, especially if you're trying to play that, Street Fighter or anything like that, or Eternal Champions. It's just a game that required the 6 buttons. But yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely for you controller heads out there, a new Genesis controller is available for you guys. All right, so a little bit of announcements. Halo Infinite campaign co-op beta drops this July. So pretty much reading that it's going to be running from the 11th through the 22nd. You have until July the 5th to sign up. So if you're listening to this program after the 5th and you didn't sign up, it's too late. I apologize, but
Sorry.
uh, but but yeah, pretty much. Uh,
Co-op will eventually
yeah,
come out for
Yeah.
everyone. So
eventually it
it's
will.
just
Pretty much a
yeah.
Yeah.
little note here. Players will need to download the campaign build and start a new playthrough and won't be able
Yeah.
to carry any existing progress over. Beta progress will
Ouch.
also not transfer back to the retail version of the game. So sorry,
Yeah.
it's a true beta. Well, it's not a demo. However, this is only beta. This is the only beta, and when the full feature releases, players will not need an isolated co-op save, and co-op progress will count toward a regular playthrough for all players involved, if so desired. Um, Finance, you have an Xbox. You got. Oh yeah, you don't have. You didn't get a Halo Infinite, did you?
No, I did. It was free on Game
Okay,
Pass.
Game Pass, but
Yeah, so I started my
mhm.
campaign. I played about 6 hours. It was okay. It was definitely it was more Halo, which was nice. I wish this was out in the beginning, like at the at the initial launch, because there's really no incentive to play through that campaign again. So if they are adding, well, not if when they add this feature, yeah, I'd love to play. I would prefer to play with one of my friends, just because it's like a kind of what Sonic just recently said. It's not an open world, but they have open
Hmm.
zones, and that's and that's kind of like what Halo
We're gonna be
is.
talking
It's
that
it's
later, but
it's
yeah.
yeah. It's also reminiscent of like Final Fantasy VII. Like there's just open spaces within a certain area, but there's not an open world where you can just like go over like all over the place. Um, so yeah, I, I would like to play this way, but at the same time, I'm not gonna restart my campaign for it. Well, actually, I guess that was just for the beta,
Hmm.
but yeah, I don't see myself playing through a second time just with a
Hmm.
friend. If I'm gonna play with friends, I'm gonna play a multiplayer, and that's just the fact of it. I don't need to go through the story mode
Yeah.
again, and I didn't even finish the story mode the first time. So
Oof.
you know,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a rough start for Halo Infinite. I mean, it can only get better, and just I know we'll be talking about this a little later. Companies ready for holiday 2022. I really don't see Xbox being one of them. I'm just throwing that out there right now.
Hmm.
Uh, Max, any thoughts on this beta? Should Xbox Game Pass users or owners of the game jump on it if they can?
The beta itself, in
Yeah.
my personal opinion, I would probably wait till the beta's out over,
Mm-hmm.
because if I wanted my progress to, I would want my progress to carry over personally.
Okay.
Um, so I don't know. I would wait. I would just wait until it comes out. If you're somebody who values, you know, having that kind of progress carried over into your games. Otherwise, if you want to check it out, and well, I think it's closed now. I think you said. Um,
yeah,
if you got onto it, great.
It closes on the 5th. You have until the
Goes
5th
on
to
the
sign up.
5th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you can still sign up, and you want to check it out, absolutely do so. If that's not a barrier to you, but yeah, uh, personally, I haven't played Halo Infinite. If I did, it would be on PC, but yeah, nothing's really drawing me into it at the moment. So,
Yeah, yeah, same here. And I got Game Pass, so I
mhm.
haven't really it hasn't given me a reason to stick to Game Pass, quite frankly. But I mean, it's there for you Xbox users. All right, PlayStation news. God of War. We're supposed to get a release date this week. Apparently on the
Hmm.
30th. That did not happen. And according to what some insiders are saying, please, they're urging the fans to be patient as the news updates. I mean, we know the year's not over yet. According to Corey Barlog and his Twitter, he says, "Dear all, if it were up to me, I would share all the information when I know about it, but it is not up to me, so please be patient. I promise things will be shared at the earliest possible moment they can be. We make games for you. We get to make games because of you." And just I guess some fans are freaking out now over God of War Ragnarok,
Yeah.
and just I still think it's coming this year. I mean, I can say that like at a strong 60-70% that I think it's coming this year. I
Yeah.
mean, and the developers keep urging that it's coming. I know it'll be a day in paradise once we get a release date drop, but I think it is coming. I mean, I would like to see it come out. I mean, I think it would definitely give PlayStation a bunch of momentum going into the holiday season whenever it does drop. But I mean, if it goes into 23, it goes into 2023. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world. Well, not for me, maybe some
Yeah.
others, but maybe Matt who's listening. But
yeah. It's just people need to chill out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's like why are you like bugging the developers? Sony Santa Monica to just like urge them to tell you if it's delayed. Like, what is the hurry? Like, if it is delayed, like, what is the hurry to find out at that point? Because you're going to end up waiting regardless. They're doing everything they can to get the
Yeah.
game out as soon as
Mhm.
possible. And I'm sure they're looking at the lineup, you know, with Starfield being pushed and, you know, just like all these other games being pushed out of the holiday season. And man, if they release this holiday season, God of War is going to crush. Like, it's going to be an easy 10 million sold.
Especially
Like,
if they release it on the date we think they're going to release it on, November 11th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's just gonna.
it's happening. I'm calling it. I've been calling it for weeks. I'm gonna keep on saying it. I'm gonna yell it from the high before every other media outlet out there even thought about it. I was saying it. Like, so yeah, it's happening.
Uh,
Right
Yeah.
here. You heard it first.
All right. What about you, Max? Are you ready for God of War Ragnarok, or can you
Well,
wait? Or
hashtag patient gamers, bro.
okay.
But yeah, it kind of just, I don't know. How many more times are we gonna have to go through, like, it bothers me that developers have to do this kind of damage control when they for a release date, you know, like
for a release date.
like it's if like Cyberpunk is a great example. It's the example we're going to be using for like years to come. Like, just be patient, right? Like, you want a great product, you want an amazing game. Like, it's like, I want this out now, and then they get it, and then it doesn't work as well as they want it to, and it's just like, why doesn't this work? Why didn't you take your time? And it's just like,
Yeah.
really shooting yourself in the foot here.
I mean, I
community.
know,
Like,
I know. We all get mad about it, like when a game gets delayed. But I always know, regardless if it's a game I'm waiting for or not waiting for, that it must be for the better. Like
yeah,
that. Like that. Yeah.
But this doesn't happen to other
Yeah.
games. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt
No
you,
worries.
but they like people don't generally do this for other
that's
games.
that's true.
Like,
They
you know,
don't.
like when they given us a season. They're like, it's coming out like holiday season 2022. We're still a ways away. We're in summer. We still have fall.
Yeah, we still have a couple quarters to
know?
go. So it's like,
We still have a couple quarters to go. They have plenty of time to announce it. And if it does get pushed, it gets
Yeah.
pushed. Yeah.
You never
Oh.
see this with movies.
oh,
Have you
hell
noticed
no.
that?
No. You don't see that with any
No.
other medium. Like, you don't see people like saying like, when's the release date? If you're not going to release it this year, just tell us you're going to
Yeah.
delay it. Like, it just doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen to like your average game. It doesn't happen to your A tier or your B tier. Only like your S tier games like this, especially in the current state of things and how things are now. Yeah, Sony fans, come
Yeah.
on, relax.
It's the Steam Summer
Corey
Sale.
has better things to do.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
many Steam games are in your backlog that you haven't played that you purchased like 4 summers ago? Go play those.
Yeah, or how many games you have that's not even unwrapped yet? Just go play those. I
Yeah.
mean, there's plenty of other games to play. I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty
Yeah.
to play on your PS5. I mean, play Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're not in a drought.
yeah. It's just I don't think right now we're in a drought of video games. I mean, there's plenty of good stuff out now. There's plenty of good stuff coming this month, next month. So just be patient. Just take it one day at a time, folks. One day at a time. All right. So for anyone that's still playing the Avengers, the mighty, I mean, I know I'm not, but the mighty Thor Jane Foster joins the Avengers today. Well, not today, a few days ago, but yeah, alongside just a few gameplay videos here. So looks like the Avengers is getting a new Avenger, the mighty Thor Jane Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to get people back on the Avengers? I mean, me personally, I mean, I didn't really get into the Avengers, but I mean, the fact that they're still dropping stuff for this game is pretty impressive, even after the big debacle that it was when it first launched. So it's good to see that it's still getting supported, and then maybe some people may want to go out and play it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know too much. Max, did you ever
Yeah.
get into the Avengers? Did you play or? Did
You know what,
pass
Justin?
on
When
it?
we first met, I told you that I was really, really into this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And after about a month or two, I told you I was really, really not into this. But from the gameplay that I've seen, this is just a reskin of. It's almost like a reskin of Thor
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the move set, the combat animations, and everything like that. The only real differences come from Jane Foster's special moves, and that's not enough to bring me into this. Not really. And I know that they're definitely bringing this character in to coincide with the new Thor film, which also features Natalie Portman as Jane
Mm-hmm.
Foster Thor. But I really don't see any difference between playing as Thor and playing as Jane Foster Thor. I see no difference. And honestly, yeah, that really just doesn't make me want to go back to it personally. Like,
What about you?
give me someone weird. Give me like I don't know, Big Wheel. I mean,
Oh.
that's just like a Spider-Man villain from the '80s, but whatever. Give me Big Wheel. I'll play Big Wheel. I'll come back for that.
Well, what about you, F?
No.
Are you gonna dip into this, or you passing, or?
No, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. This seems like a Thor reskin, but I understand what Square Enix is doing. They have to do these movie tie-ins to like make more capital on this game. Because the game isn't what they expected and what they it's the game didn't live up to their expectations and the Marvel expectations. What a Marvel game can be. It didn't live up to those movie highlights and things of that nature. I could just say the community really told them from before the game ever launched that like, hey, it's a grind game. It's a living breathing game. So it's like one of those games you just need content on it. You need like consistent content. You need characters. There should have been a gear system rather than like a suit. Like you can't spec out your character like per item or piece of gear. You have to like change their entire armor in order to essentially change your abilities and stuff like that. I don't know. The game's changed a lot, so that may not be the case anymore. But they beat it with Spider-Man. They did a great job with Black Panther. Jane, I do see the differences between Jane and Thor, but essentially they both have hammers. They both have electricity powers. I'm sure there's going to be some passive stats that are going to be like quicker movement with Jane versus Thor or whatever the case may be. She may not hit as hard, but she hits quicker. Things like that. But no, I'm not. I was after playing Destiny, after seeing, I fell into Anthem. I bought Anthem right off the bat, and that failed.
Yeah.
And then, I wasn't gonna jump into another one of these games without seeing kind of what comes out the other end. First, kind of see how it's supported, and right now, none of them have been doing well. Godfall was another example of a failure. It's just been rough. So I don't know. No, I'm not picking up the Avengers, but yeah.
All right, for sure. So anyway, Unreal Engine 5 looks like a developer by the name of Lightspeed Studios. They're responsible for PUBG Mobile, Apex Legends Mobile. They are putting out a game called Code to Jin Yang. And I just saw the trailer for this game just a little bit before we started the show, and it looks incredible. Looks like they're doing some real good things with Unreal Engine 5. Also saw some of the images that Unreal Engine 5 can do, and looks like this Code to Jin Yang is going to be Lightspeed Studios' first AAA game from the studio, and if it's looking like that, I mean, the game definitely has a good promise graphic wise. Were you impressed with the graphics, Finest?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm trying to pull it up now so for the audience to see. But no, the game absolutely looks incredible.
Yeah.
The things that they're doing with Unreal Engine 5, like they just keep on popping up on my feeds. Like putting Superman in the game, Green Lantern, all these different characters, and they're doing it quick. they're like really bringing these characters or these kind of demos
Yeah.
of games and what can be done like fairly quickly. So it's pretty amazing.
Oh, here we go.
This particular game in general looks absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see what the actual finished product is. I don't know if I don't know how much time they spent on this just as brief preview of the game, but I would love to see more. It kind of reminds me of that other. There's another like Chinese lore game that is coming out soon, and it has that monkey character. I'm trying to
Sun
think.
Wukong.
Oh,
Yes, thank you. Yeah, and that's what it kind of reminds me of, which is also going to be on Unreal 5. So
it looks incredible, like what they can do with it. And I'm just waiting to see what other games take advantage of this engine.
yeah, there's going to be plenty of them. I think was it CD Projekt Red said the next Witcher is going to be on Unreal 5, and everyone seems pretty impressed by the capabilities and the support for it so far. So going forward, I'm sure the latter half of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. I think a majority of the games are going to be on Unreal 5, along with PC.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on what we're looking at so far, Max? Do you think Lightspeed Studios is going to knock it out of the park with this game? This is their first AAA game, based on what we're hearing.
Oh, absolutely. This is very, maybe you guys already said it, but this is very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm okay with that. But yeah, no, this looks amazing. It kind of reminds me of this free-to-play game I was playing on the PS5 not too long ago. It was like it's like a melee Chinese myth battle royale, kind of like the upcoming Naraka Blade Point. And that's a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this. It looks beautiful. It looks fun. The only minor little thing that I would even say about what I've seen here is it would be cool to watch. So like we got this guy here with the big sword. He's just standing there holding the sword up to block. And it's just like, doesn't really do anything else. It'd be really cool to see him kind of like match blade to blade when he blocks a little bit. Otherwise, other than that, yeah, it looks amazing. I'm good with it.
Yeah, well, definitely. Best of luck to Lightspeed Studios, which is owned by Tencent. So, I mean,
Tencent's really doing a great job, like with their games in general.
Hopefully, wish them nothing but the best in their first AAA release, and we'll be watching this game in the future. Hopefully, we'll get a release date for it. I don't know, maybe later rather than sooner. You know how it works these days. But all right, we're gonna talk a little bit of Sonic now. Now I know this wasn't our main discussion, but I figured it deserved a segment of its own. So we'll talk Sonic Frontiers, and I know we saw the trailer from the Nintendo Direct. We saw what IGN has put out. It's just been kind of like one roller coaster with like the first impressions of this game. And just they say that it's like people thought it was looking like Breath of the Wild, and it kind of did, but the creators, Sonic team, has been saying like, hey, no, this is an open zone game, not open world. And just so we see everything from IGN, then Nintendo puts out the Direct. What?
Game Informer's doing their cover story right now too.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, yeah. So thank you, Nintendo, first of all, for potentially saving the game. But
The trailer, guys.
Yeah, like I mean, I know some of the stuff was like had to be NDA, like with the open space where you go to like classic zones like Green Hill Zone and that highway zone. Am I still gonna purchase the game? Am I still looking forward to this game? Yes. Do I feel a lot better about it after the Nintendo Direct? Yes. Yes, I have a feel. Yes, I feel better that I won't be laughed at all of you and the rest of the gaming world if I'm the only one buying the game. But I mean, yeah, just I think Sega either need a lesson in how to promote games or something, but they did not do a very good job with this whole just
the marketing.
marketing.
Yeah.
It's just But I'm still looking forward to it. I'm still gonna pick it up. What about you guys? You guys think it's gonna be a good game to come in this holiday season? Finest, you
Yeah, no, you know what, I'm a like we talked about this, what was it, 2 weeks
yeah.
ago, about Sonic Frontiers, and very much when we were talking about it, you know, Max, you were asking some questions about like what they're
Hmm.
missing
Mhm.
about the game, and one of those things I mentioned was the
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
We said we didn't see like a Green Hill Zone, and we didn't see just all those reminiscent things that make Sonic, because Sonic is great, but the levels and the music are just as
Yeah.
important. Now we still haven't heard any new
Mhm.
music,
Yeah.
but we have seen new
Hmm.
levels. We have seen more platforming. We have seen those huge checkered loopy
Yeah.
loops that are very very Sonic in these new trailers. And I think we're going to continue to see that. Like I said, Game Informer's doing their press coverage right now on the
Mm.
game, so we're going to really get more of a deep dive within the game, more interviews. It's just you the way you trickle out information, you really want to put your best foot forward, and then you can start going into those minute details. But showing just such a sparse initial showing of the game
Mm.
really just lends to
Yeah.
fear, because
Yeah.
then people don't know what to expect, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, this game has not been marketed well
Mm.
so far, and I'm not looking forward to purchasing the game still.
Okay.
I still need to see more,
Yeah.
especially yeah.
All right, Dave, that's fair. You too, Max. You
This would
still need to see
yeah.
more before you make a decision on it.
Like this wouldn't be day one for me,
Mm.
but I'm
Okay.
happy with what I've seen. Like last time we spoke about this, like this concept was my speculation. I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe it's an open zone, and then you run to other zones. That's why they call it an
Yeah.
open zone, and then you go to closed zones.
Mm.
And I'm happy to see that that's the case.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that just to give Sega and Sonic Team the benefit of the doubt in terms of their trailers, I think maybe they were just really excited to show off like a change in the Sonic formula and what they were working on versus providing, yes, it's going to have like the closed zones, it's going to have your Green Hill, it's going to have your Sky Sanctuary, it's going to have all the
Yeah.
things you like, but we're really proud of this and we really want to show it off. But they could have,
Mm.
yeah, done it a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I know. I think they wanted to do something a little bit like Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, where
Mhm.
I know, like, I don't know if you guys play Sonic Generations, where you're just walking
Oh,
around like the white or whatever, and just go from zone to zone. I think they wanted to do something like that, but in like an open form.
yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they probably should have been a little more specific in what they were trying to show. And
Yeah,
I
a
think
little
they
bit.
were later on, but I mean, it is what it is. Uh,
I think I think IGN was like
uh,
specific in it, but I don't think like when going through those NDAs and being told what you can show and the dates that you can show
mhm.
it, I think that probably, just assuming, because I'm not affiliated with IGN, but just assuming that that really hurt, not IGN, because IGN got plenty of clicks, everyone
Yeah,
like took that and
Oh
ran
yeah.
with it,
yeah, yeah,
but really hurt the Sonic
yeah.
team, and the developers creating the game,
Mm,
because it just like I was saying earlier, you just kind of want to show what the game is, and by them not showing, by them showing like, here's Sonic, here's the world, but not showing what the game is, it just led to rampant speculation. And I think it's done damage. I think it's done damage for this
yeah.
game. And I don't know, whether it's like 5 people or 10 less people that buy the game. I think it's done damage by them not showing essentially what the
Yeah.
game is going to be, with it being a different
Yeah.
format. When you change a formula of a game, you really want to show people what the new game is going to be, when you're taking the favorite character of a game that's pretty much been tried and
Mm.
true for so long. You really want to show what that new experience is
Mhm.
going to be like, even if you are showing a new
Yeah.
world. The new world's going to come through if you're showing us what the game
Yeah.
is. We can pull that for ourselves. We don't need you to say like, this is the world, the new world that you're going to be in. That's obvious. So yeah, I'm not any more excited for the game. I do think the game looks better from what I've seen the little bit. I still don't think it should release this holiday season. I think it would do them some good, and I think it would do the community some good if they did hold the game back and say like, "Hey, we've heard you, and we're going to make the game better." Regardless if they did or they didn't, I think it would only help the game by at least telling the community like, we understand where you're coming from and we hear you. So we're going to take what you said into account, and we're going to kind of just comb through it a little bit and see if there's anything that we can touch on to make the game.
Instead of saying, you just don't understand, guys.
Yeah, you don't understand. Yeah, you don't understand. This game is coming.
Yeah.
This is sometime this holiday season, and the only way it's getting delayed is if one of our team members get COVID or something. Like,
yeah, all the wrong things to say. All the wrong things to say.
Yeah, it just. I mean, like I said, I want to see. I want to see this game do well. I think it looks better than Sonic Forces. I think any game after Sonic Forces can look better than Sonic Forces. That's just my opinion, but
that's pretty easy.
But I mean, so I think they're definitely going in the right direction. I mean, I think just the presentation, it could have been a lot better. They could have at least showed us one of the zones that you could do and just be more specific with the people, then judge it, and then instead of just giving the whole Breath of the Wild presentation, oh, this is going to be an open world game, no open zone game, no, you know.
One last thing I want to kind of touch on is that I kind of noticed in the debut of these closed zones, I guess I'll call them. I wonder if Sonic's open world combat will translate into that, because it didn't really look like it from what we saw.
That's a good question.
From what I've been reading, they'd say the combat actually feels better than it looks.
Yeah. I agree. Like I'm actually like really interested to see what they have, but I'm also interested to see like, is that going to be in the closed zones, or is that just going to play like a regular Sonic with a homing attack and like rail grinding, and like, are you not even going to be able to do that?
So they did talk about that. Like the homing attacks are there to a degree. I believe if I'm remembering this right, I believe there is like kind of like a lock-on function.
Okay.
So there is homing to a degree, but it's not as easy as it, like, you know, those other Sonic games where, like, you know, you aim at your target, you like tap the button and you just go speeding at them as you're running. It doesn't seem like that. It seems like more fluid, like more so like just an action adventure game. So if you are thinking Breath of the Wild and things of that nature, you know, well, whatever the 3D game may be, Spyro or whatever.
Devil May Cry.
It's well, I don't know about Devil May Cry, but yeah, it's gonna be more fluid combat where you're not just, you actually have to work a little bit. You know, it's not gonna just be a lock-on mechanic where you can, you know, do things. You actually have to think about the combat. And then they like talked about, like, there's like, if you've seen the previews, like there's like one attack where it's not even an attack, but it's like a move that you do where you run around them and then it puts this blue trail around them. Yeah. And then that's a mechanic that you're gonna have to use on some enemies. And then that launched the enemies in the air, or it took off their armor, or whatever the case may be. And then you could attack like them underneath. So they're really thinking about strategy in terms of that and how that works. The bigger enemies, it didn't seem like there was that sense of strategy. It seemed like there was strategy other ways. Like there was one where they, like, one of the like larger enemies that they showed, like you had to run up the arm, but there was a certain pass that you had to run up the arm. So there was like the red circles and the blue circles, and you only wanted to go through the blue circles in order to run up the arm. Yeah, and they boost you up. And then when he was like falling back down, you landed on the head. And then there was like a specific spot that you would, like, you know, you like your twirl, and you would hit that specific spot a couple times before he launched an attack. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to translate, you know, until a lot of outlets are getting their hands in the game and have gotten their hands on the game since there's been so much bad press around it.
Yeah, they're doing damage control
But
right now.
yeah,
Definitely, they're doing.
yeah, I hope it's a great game. That's
Yeah,
that's all that I want also, and that's all the every person that's ranting about this
yeah,
wants. Just everyone's a little bit
yeah.
scared at this
And
point.
I
I feel
think,
like.
yeah, I think they just want to see Sonic out of its norm. Like, oh, Breath of the Wild, Sonic. Like,
Well, I don't think people had a problem with that
yeah.
initially. When I mean, because that was kind of like that was kind of interpreted through the first
Yeah.
trailer.
Well,
So
the
everyone's like,
scenery
"Oh, like,
definitely.
are they
This
going to
is,
do?" Yeah, well, I mean, that's
yeah.
what I took from it from that first trailer, and that's what I was
Mm,
reading. Was like other people were like, "Oh, is this going to be open world Sonic?" And yeah, I mean, it is more or
yeah.
less, but it's just whether taking it into that new realm, not new necessarily because Sonic has been done 3D a lot of
Mm,
times, but taking it into a 3D realm and just trying to translate that quick that quick combat, that Sonic is known for, along with just a lot of those other elements that make Sonic is a different feat in
yeah.
itself. But as the director has said, he's trying to do something different with Sonic, but different doesn't always mean
Mhm.
better. So we'll find
Yeah.
out.
Definitely. Well, enough with the Sonic talk. Definitely, I do hope it's a good game though. We're gonna talk some Valve. I'm still debating whether I want to pre-order this thing or not. I know I wouldn't have time to play it, but it would it would put all the other handheld emulators I have in my collection to shame if I did get it. But Valve is saying that they will double the number of Steam Decks that will ship this year. So right now they have something on their Twitter. They're saying hello. Some great news on the production front. We just sent the last batch of Q2 emails, and we'll start sending Q3 reservation emails on the 30th, which was yesterday. Production has picked up, and after today, the 27th, which is when that tweet went live, we'll be shipping more than double the number of Steam Decks every week. So if you want a Steam Deck, now would probably be the opportunity to get it until it gets
Mhm.
in the retail stores. Me personally, I think the only thing stopping me from getting it is one, do I just the price a little bit, and then do I want the mid-level one? Do I want the big one? Do I want the cheapy one? Do I just want
You have to get
yeah,
the middle or top.
no,
Don't. It's not worth it to get the
yeah? I
smallest
Mhm.
one.
would probably go with the middle one more than likely. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I haven't put my $5 down yet, but I know if I were to get it, I just know I wouldn't have time to play it. But I do want one. Max, I don't think I've talked much Steam Deck with you. What are your thoughts on it? Do you want one? Is it something you would play if you had it, or?
I mean, yeah, eventually.
Uh,
I mean, being able to take my Steam library on the go with me is definitely going to make me want to play it more. I don't
uh,
necessarily have a gaming like PC. I
uh,
just, it's an all-arounder, so I can't play some stuff that I would love to play just because of my
yeah.
specs. But yeah, I would if I had a handheld version of all of my games on the Steam library, or at least a good chunk
Mm.
of them, I absolutely would pick this up. Would I pre-order it? I'm not a fan of pre-orders personally. A lot of mistakes made in the past,
Yeah.
and I usually kind of just shy away from that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
the Steam Deck is definitely something that's going to be on my radar when it does drop. And if I can't get it right away, well, I mean, I can be patient.
Okay. Well. I mean, definitely. I would like to see this thing come in the stores, and I know that's something we touched on the last time we talked about the
Yeah,
Steam Deck Finest.
Yeah, probably not
Yeah, probably
happening.
not happening.
No.
Probably
probably
still got to
not.
order it
Yeah.
online. Yeah.
Yeah, Valve is. I don't think they put any of their devices in
Hmm.
stores. But yeah, no, you know what? I'm kind of there with you, Max. I'm not really big on pre-orders. There's very, very seldomly where I'll do a
Yeah.
Hmm.
pre-order, and I haven't had good luck with them either. Like Justin, like I've pre-ordered
Hmm.
games and then I don't get it the same day.
Yeah.
Like I get it like
Amazon.
a day
Uh,
later, a week later, 2 weeks later. So yeah, I hate getting burned because what I do is I'm that type of person where I'm like, well, I'm not getting it today. Well, I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy it.
Horizon
And
Forbidden West.
I'm
That's
gonna
it. That's
That'll
I'm
show
gonna
it. Buy it twice.
Buy it twice and
yeah, and then I buy it twice, and then I might return it. Like I don't know. Sometimes I end up with two
Yeah.
yeah.
copies. But yeah, so that's the type of person I am. And yeah, I don't know, just because they're speeding up production on the Steam Deck doesn't mean it's coming. Doesn't mean that you're going to get it necessarily any sooner because we're already entering Q3 and
Mhm.
Q4. So really just means that they're on pace, on
Yeah.
track. So if you do order it, maybe you can get it. Maybe you can get a Q4. I highly doubt it. I was more like Q1 of next year. Is going to probably be the likely timeline. So I mean, $5 isn't
Yeah.
isn't
Just
you
if you
know
are going to
that
pre-order
that
it,
big of a
just
deal.
put the $5 down, and once you're ready, I think they gave you like 2 or 3 days to complete the order.
Yeah.
Once it is your turn, but I mean, I think the $5 is reasonable for the pre-order. Uh, as for me, I mean, I feel more comfortable doing pre-orders at the store when it comes to that sort of thing.
Mhm.
You know, whether it be GameStop, Best Buy, uh, whatever the case may have you. You know, so I mean, that's how I would like to do. You know, my pre-orders when it comes down to it. I'm not. I wouldn't just throw out like 500, $600 at a company online and then just wait X amount of months down the line. Like that no,
Mhm.
that's not good for business. Not, at least not me anyway. So, but I mean, it's good to see that production is ramping. Advice I'll give anyone out there listening that wants a Steam Deck: just put the $5 down and then just wait for them to get to you, then pay for it. So,
Oh yeah, I mean that's the best way
mhm,
to get it because I mean they're gonna keep until they catch up on supply and
yeah.
demand and everything. It's gonna be a waiting game if you're not putting your $5 down right off the
Mm,
bat. Um, but yeah, no, I think it's a wonderful piece of
yeah.
technology.
Oh yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do, and
It
then
looks incredible.
the amount of updates that they've been putting out for it is absolutely insane. I am gonna wait for number two personally. I'm looking for a gaming PC,
Hmm.
so I want to get a gaming PC, and then yeah, and then hopefully soon after the Steam Deck 2 will launch. And honestly, I don't feel like it's going to be a long
Yeah.
wait. I feel like in year
Hmm.
3, what would that be? What are we on right now? 2022, 2023,
Mhm.
2024,
Yeah.
I guess.
2024.
We'll see a Steam Deck 2. And so I don't feel like that's long of a
Hmm.
wait. At that time I'll probably be picking up my PS5 or a little bit before that. So yeah, I
And
think
hopefully
it'll
your
be
Switch
okay.
too, right?
Yeah, my Switch Pro that'll never come out. Yeah.
All right. One last game announcement before we get on to our main topics for this episode. Skull and Bones. Looks like their release date has leaked for it. I'm not sure if it's official, but it looks like it's coming out November 8th on Xbox. So just a little bit of announcement there. November 8th. Skull and Bones. Well, not Xbox. I meant Ubisoft. The Ubisoft game, Skull and Bones. Excuse me. I'm getting confused with that other pirate game, Sea of Thieves. I don't know. Yeah, I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
sorry about that. But yeah, it looks like it is coming November 8th. Um, are you guys looking forward to Skull and Bones? You guys pirate fans? Linus?
I'm just shocked that it's coming
Mhm.
out. I mean, because if you remember this
Yeah, eight
game,
years
this was
in
because
development.
yeah, this game originated because people thought the naval combat in Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
awesome. From Black Flag. So it's kind of amazing that like they're like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and take that naval combat. We're just gonna give you a naval combat game, and just the kind of development hell that it's been through, and just kind of like it disappearing off the maps, and then the fact that it's still coming and it's actually supposedly coming this year is kind of wild.
The fact that it's coming at
I
all.
don't want it. Yeah, I don't want it at this point. I think back in the day, like I think 8 years ago, or maybe like maybe a couple years after, I was playing Assassin's Creed. I would have been more open and inclined to it because I was like, I did like the naval
Mhm.
combat. I was like, dude, this is
Yeah.
awesome. This is like so much fun. I never played a ship game, like a ship simulator type
Yeah.
of like pirate
Hmm.
game like that before, and I don't think it's really been done well until Ubisoft did it. So yeah, I was really excited about it at the time, but now so many years later, I'm not interested, so I'm curious to see who the audience is for this and if people are going to pick
Fans
it
of
up.
the old Assassin's Creed games, that's going to be the audience. If you love
That's
that
true.
Black Flag, I
Well,
guess.
I'm one of those
Yeah.
Yeah,
people.
so am I.
I'm a
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it's probably not a day one pickup for me, but
No,
you
same.
know, just I could see myself getting this later on down the line. I just gotta look at it, see how it plays, all that good stuff. But
Yeah, got to be
uh,
in the mood for it, you know.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So not a day one pickup for you either, Max.
Not
But
really, no.
no.
I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 did it so well. Like, even if you
Yeah,
didn't do any of the Assassin's Creed bits, like, it's an amazing pirate sim. You can
yeah,
just do
yeah. It
pirate
is.
stuff. But yeah, I agree. I think this is interesting, and I definitely play it, but not day one. Personally, I'll give it a minute. Yeah, give it some room to breathe.
Yeah. I just want to see what the gameplay
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah,
because
that too.
if it is a game, if it is like a pirate sim or whatever you want to call it, because you're not going to be getting off the ship, you're not going to be going, you may be able to like dock it into ports or
Mhm.
whatever, but you're not going to go assassinate like a whole
No.
bunch of people and then come back on the ship after. It's not that game. So I kind of want to see like what the in between gameplay is, like when I'm not firing my mortars and my cannons at other pirate ships and ramming them. What else am I going to be doing?
Yeah.
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 Did you guys ever play Sid Meier's Pirates?
No,
No.
I did not
That's a
play
great
that.
game. And that was very similar, where it had the naval combat, but it would have scripted sequences where you would have quick time sword fights with
Mhm.
pirates, and then you would dock it into port, and you would pick up supplies, make your ship better, take over other people's ships, and then you'd have like a fleet, and then there was like some dancing as well. So if you ever want to check that game out, it's really good.
Definitely check
Yeah.
it out.
Mhm.
All right, and then with that being said, that's going to do it for the gaming news callouts for I guess the second time this week. All right, now we get on to the main topic of this week, and that is Nintendo Direct Mini. Just a little bit about this Nintendo Direct. It was a third-party showcase, so no first-party games were shown. So this was
Mhm.
all with Nintendo's third-party partners, and some of the games announced are going to other consoles. So, like I said, it hopefully would have benefited you if you had watched it, whether you're a Nintendo fan or not,
Mhm.
or if you own a Switch or not. All right, so I'm just going to go down the list and then we will dip in and discuss. So, I guess with the big news that happened at this Direct, Persona 5, Persona 4, Persona 3 are all coming to the Switch. So, Persona is finally going to be on a Nintendo console, finally, guys. So, you guys can just take a breath of sigh of relief and just be happy with it. Fine, that's a game I know you're happy about. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy
Oh
Collection.
yeah.
I never played any of those back in the day, but they
Oh,
look
so
good,
good.
and I wanna definitely give this a try. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope gets a release date of October 20th. So I mean, and it looks good too. It looks a lot better than the other one. So definitely, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Portal Companion Collection that's on the Switch now. Near Automata, the end of Yora edition is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Uh, Harvestella, which is a new game announcement coming to the Switch. Return to Monkey Island coming to consoles. Coming to the Switch. So we saw a little bit of that. Super Bomberman R2 coming to the Switch. Live Alive, the demo is now available on the Switch. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. The roadmap is revealed. I guess it's a expansion that is going to be coming out later this year in August. We already talked about Sonic Frontiers in the gameplay trailer. Minecraft Legends, a new trailer that was announced. Blank is also coming, and then a couple other games here. Disney Dreamlight Valley, Dragon Quest Treasures, Little Noah Scion of Paradise, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, uh,
Mhm.
Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom, Pac-Man World Repack. That looks like a good one to me.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, yeah. That it looks like a very redone remake. Uh, Railgrade. That looks very interesting. Kind of similar to that game Matt talked a while back. Satisfactory. That looks pretty interesting as well. And Captain Velvet, Meteor, the Jump in Dimensions. And then, yeah, so I believe that is everything. If I missed anything, please let me know. So where shall we start? Finance, any game you want to talk about first on this list that I just went through?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that
All
Mega
right, Mega
Man.
Man, let's do it. Mega Man
Yeah.
Battle Network Legacy Collection. So what I've been hearing about this game is, I guess they're also going to be putting it out on PlayStation. That would make sense, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
I have not been seeing anything about it going to the Xbox. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they'll announce something later, but so far, it looks like it's just going to be Nintendo and PlayStation. And from what I was also told with the Xbox, I guess the last Legacy Collection they put on the Xbox didn't do very well, so I don't see why they would, not do it. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm hearing it's only going to be one collection physically. Digitally, it's
Mhm.
going to be two, I guess. So I'm not too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's just.
correct.
And
Yep.
then hopefully for the Switch though, we uh, we just get one game on the cartridge. I mean, it's not. I mean, the games aren't that big, so I don't see why they would need to do one game and then download the other. I didn't understand why they did that with Mega Man and Mega Man X Legacy collections. They didn't do that with the ZX collection, thank God, but that was just weird. Um, so yeah, definitely with Mega Man, it's looking good. I mean, it's definitely on my radar for 2023. Um, so Max, you were saying you played the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy, not yeah, Battle Network games. What?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
Oh yeah, what do people have to look forward to with these games?
Um, you know what? Like, God, I can't sing their praises enough. Like, it's got like a chip system where you kind of have like a stack of abilities, like your Mega Buster, or you have like a sword, you have health potions and stuff like that, and it's turn based, from what I remember. And then you go up and down, and there's different lanes where you kind of just pop up to one and you hit the guy, adjacent from you, and you keep going back and forth with that. And then you have like an overworld aspect. So for anybody who's not familiar with Mega Man Battle Network, I was a big fan of the anime as a kid.
Hmm.
Um, and in this universe, Mega Man is like almost like a Tamagotchi. um,
Yeah.
and all these other like kids, they all have their own kind of like Mega Man character. Like Guts Man is one of them, Proto Man is one of them, and they all use them to like fight or like, I don't know, fix things that are going on in the world. Like in the first game, for example, one girl is like trapped in like a steam room or something, and she's like suffocating, and you have to go into the network and kill all the viruses with Mega Man, in order to get in there and save her. So it has like real life impacts as well. You're like hacking the world, and I always thought that was such a cool idea, with Mega Man. So yeah, I definitely check this out if you haven't yet, and you're into turn based, you're into Mega Man, and you're into goofy Japanese anime stories. So
F man, did you ever play these back in the day?
No, but I always wanted to. So it was on the Game Boy Advance, and I was a little bit off put by
Hmm.
it just because I was such like an OG
Yeah,
like Mega Man fan right off the
yeah.
gates. So it was pretty cool. I was like, I don't know. Let me gather my thoughts. I would say initially I was off put, but then when like the games continuously came out, I think I started to warm up to it. I also watched the anime quite a bit, so yeah, that kind of like warmed me up to the Mega Man Game Boy Advance series, and once again it was like Mega Man in a new
Mhm.
direction. Just having that more strategic battle, like more like a tactics game where you aren't just side scrolling from left to right, um, was a bit of a change. But then in seeing it in action and seeing like the probably the best part about Mega Man, or one of the best parts, was like his different armors that he gets from defeating his enemies and things like that. I thought it was awesome. So yeah, I really warmed up to the series. It's something that I've always kind of regretted not playing, but really looking forward to now. And then just to what you were saying earlier, Justin, it sounded like you were saying like them splitting the collections is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Oh, I don't.
I mean,
I don't think it's a bad thing. Okay, so very much like with the Mega Man X collection, they did X1 collection and then they did part two. You can purchase them together physically, or you can purchase them separately digitally. And at least with the Mega Man X collection, it did two things. It did cost more if you purchase them separately digitally, but it costs less if you purchase them
Yeah.
together. But with Mega Man, the Mega Man X series, the first Mega Man X, Mega Man X2, Mega Man X3, X4, and some people,
your mic cut out. So you're saying Mega Man X, X2, X3, X4, and what was your final thought with X5? Is your mic back on, Linus? No, not on. Okay. So with that being said, we'll move on. We'll hopefully Linus will finish his thoughts there. Max, is there a game on here that you want to discuss?
I want to discuss Persona.
Persona. That's a that's a good one.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Persona? Happy to finally see it on a Switch platform or Nintendo platform in general.
Yes, specifically Persona 3 Portable, because for the longest time, the only way you could get that game was on the PSP, which I do have. But for anybody else who was ever looking for it, you definitely had to open your wallets to find a copy because it is very expensive. But those games are phenomenal. I love everything about them. I think that Persona 5, I still need to finish. I love every aspect of it, though. I love the walking around town. I love the social link system. I love just collecting all the personas like they're Pokemon, mixing and matching them, making some new ones. And yeah, I have yet to play Persona 4, which I know is blasphemous in the community because that's a very fan favorite one. But I did play the fighting game. And I did play a bit of their DDR game. Which I also greatly enjoyed. But yeah, no, this is awesome that this collection, all three of them are ready to go. And each of them having their full DLCs, like Persona 3 Portable has everything with it. Persona 4 Golden has some like a lot more extra content. And then obviously Persona 5 Royale. Or Royale.
Royale.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
yeah.
That's good. I mean, I've never played any of the Persona games. I know with Joker being in Super Smash Brothers, it made sense. It makes sense that he's finally on a Nintendo platform. For that to be happening. So, I mean, I'll definitely check it out. And if my budget and if the time comes, I mean, hopefully, I should be able to definitely check these games out.
They're big time sinks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think someone said it's like 380 hours.
Oh,
I believe it.
Added up the hours if you like play like all three of these. Like
I'd only play one of them if the time permits. I'm not 380 hours. I'm not that hardcore. I mean, I want to play other games at the end of the day. So you know me, Finest.
Well, you're talking about three major RPGs. The Persona franchise. It was a little bit too JRPG for me in the beginning. Once again, another one that anime has led me to. I watched the Persona 4 anime.
Nice.
Which totally caught me off guard, and I was like, this is strange and like pretty cool. And just the fact that like I know they had like different triggers for every like persona, for every Persona game, but I don't know if they always shot themselves.
No.
But in Persona 4, them shooting themselves in order to trigger their personas, I don't even know how that's even a mechanic.
That's Persona 3.
Persona 3. Okay, my fault. Yeah. So yeah, that was a bit of a trip. Um, are you sure it's not in 4 too?
In 4, they get tarot cards and they just kind of like break them with the power of friendship.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. That is right.
Yeah.
That is right. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, the Persona definitely was off my radar. It was on my radar for a long time, but was only I've only become more
Mhm.
recently into it. I purchased 5, and then Royale came out. Son of a guns. So and then they're like, oh yeah, Royale's like the better of the two. You should go get
Mhm.
that. So I have not picked up Persona 5 Royale. I had a PSP, but I never purchased Persona 3 on the
Mhm.
PSP. And yeah, I'm not gonna pick up all of these,
If
but
I could make a suggestion, because I
Yeah.
think
If
you
you were
might
just
like
to
so,
pick
this.
one game, what would you suggest?
would it be Golden?
No, well, yes, but I was gonna
Okay.
say, if you're really into Fighters Finest, you should check out Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, because that is a very nice fighter.
Okay. Definitely. So with that, Finest, did you freeze? Oh,
Yeah. I'm
okay.
here. Yeah, it's like 100 degrees in my
Oh,
garage right now.
Oh,
So that's I finally figured out it's the heat that is causing my setup to kind of go haywire.
okay,
But
okay,
I see.
all right.
yeah, so
Yeah,
All
I thought
right.
you were like frozen. Okay.
no, I'm
So
good.
yeah. With that being said, so before I choose my game, and then we'll do one more roundtable of a game that we all liked. Max, between the three
Mhm.
Persona games, if I were to choose one, you'd go with Four Golden
Uh,
for the guy who
that's
doesn't
really
play.
tough. I would
Oh boy.
actually go with I would go with 5. I haven't
Okay.
played 4 Golden. I know a lot about it. I've watched the anime. I've seen playthroughs of it. But I really like 5. 5 is
Okay.
it's really good. And then if you want to, I would just like go down the chain.
All right.
Yeah, even from a person that hasn't played Persona, me just like researching
Uh-huh.
it and just going into listening to all the fanfare over the
Mhm.
last like several years about this game and how it's even gotten more and more, just really
Mhm.
boomed. 5 definitely seems the way to go, but definitely do the
Mhm.
Royale. Don't,
All right.
yeah. I mean, you're fine either way, but do the Royale versus regular Persona 5.
All right, so I want to choose a game, and then we'll do one more roundtable of games that we like from this direct. I'm gonna go Pac-Man World Repack. Now, this was a
Nice.
game that originally was on the PlayStation. It came out in '99, I believe. And seeing old images to what they did with this platformer, it looks really good. Looks really nice. Looks really fun.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen any prices yet, but from what I'm hearing, it's not going to be very expensive at all. So I might be able to afford this because that is August 26th. That's coming out the week Saints Row comes out. So I know I'm going to be kind of booked and busy that week. So, but if I can get this on the cheap for like $30, I
Oh
would
yeah.
say why not give it a shot. I mean, I could give it a shot. Were you impressed with what they showed with Pac-Man World Repack? Pac-Man and a platformer. What do you think, Max?
Absolutely. I had
Mm.
this. I had Pac-Man World 2 on PC, and I played the hell out of that game. Love it.
Okay.
I had Pac-Man World 1 on Game Boy Advance, which obviously
Yeah,
is
came
a
out.
great
It came out.
comparison.
Yeah.
But no, they're great. The Pac-Man World games, just amazing because they're like dare I say, a Pac-Man take on Mario 64. I would say so. It's
Yeah.
not just, how far can I get without ghosts, killing me. It's a
Yeah.
genuine adventure with like lots of moves and boss battles, and it's a lot of fun. Like I'm really happy that they've decided to revitalize this series.
Yeah, and coming from me, I'm not really a fan of the old Pac-Man arcade games. Like,
Yeah, same.
it's just not something you're gonna see me playing, like in my retro library. I'm just being honest. But yeah, this looks good though. I would definitely play this. What were your impressions on it, Finest?
Yeah, I was on the opposite
Uh,
end. I felt like they've, with the old Pac-Man World
uh-huh,
games, like they've already gone down
uh-huh,
this route, and it didn't work out. Like, even if you do have nostalgia
uh,
for it, like I don't feel like they were that necessarily that great of games
okay.
before.
All right.
I don't. think Pac-Man was a great mascot. When they, because they had the Pac-Man. Another cartoon that I watch. I watch the Pac-Man
Yeah.
cartoon,
That I didn't watch.
and things
That
like that.
is-
Yeah, and it was pretty bad. But I don't know. It depends how much they change the game into a 3D platformer. Like it,
uh,
oh,
Right.
it reminded me. No worries. It reminds me of Kirby. So I think if they can, if it's tight gameplay, if it's good gameplay, then that's all that really matters. I really don't care about the look, necessarily the look of the game. It looks like Pac-Man. It looks like a 3D Pac-Man. Yeah. So that's all I really got to say about it. Yeah, not looking forward to it. But before we get off this topic, I mean, I really did enjoy this indie direct, and my mic keeps on cutting out, so I haven't had time to talk about anything.
Yeah, well, it's your turn. So I mean,
Go for it.
go for it. What do you want to talk about?
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it short because my mic could cut out of me at any point again. But yeah, Mega Man Battle Collection was super awesome. The Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope
looks good.
I thought was pretty cool. They're doing the free roaming, so it's no longer like so much like XCOM. It reminds me more of like a Plants vs Zombies, the XCOM version that they did of that game. Super excited to see Portal coming back out. Hopefully, Portal 3 is around the corner at some point. With the success of Splitgate and them adding portals to that. I want some Aperture Science in my life. I love Portal, great game. Love the orange box, and then Blanc. Looked like an interesting game.
Looks like an interesting indie game.
Yeah, it reminds me of what's that? Untold Swan, I believe is the game.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was an indie game on PlayStation. It was an indie game on PlayStation 4. But yeah, it reminds me of that game. I might have the title kind of messed up. And Monster Hunter Rise, I know is going to be big.
Oh yeah.
And
Monster Hunter Rise. That's.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just say this one also because it seemed like a very interesting game. Harvestella.
Harvestella, yeah. I've been seeing mixed reviews about that.
I've been seeing pretty positive. I've seen a lot of interest in it. Especially with the Nintendo audience that was so big into Animal Crossing this last year. I can see that being like kind of like a next step for them because that's very much like it's a farming game and harvesting game, but then they've added combat to it. So like I don't know, that kind of seemed like a interesting mashup. You usually don't see that, because they were going pretty heavy into the farming mechanics of that game and kind of like developing the town. So
this direct felt like there was a lot of farming games. Even that Disney one is kind of like pseudo Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Yeah, so. Yeah, that's an interesting one with your favorite Disney and Pixar characters. Some good, some villains, and looks like you just help them around. We'll have to see how that one does. That's an interesting one. I got my eye on. Max, any other games on this from this list from this direct mini that you're interested in?
One that really stood out to me was I can't remember the name of it, but it's got laser eyes in the title.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
L'Oreal. Yeah.
Lorelai and the laser eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a puzzle game, puzzle mystery game.
I'm a big fan of puzzle mystery games. My partner got me into. She got me to purchase a ton of Nancy Drew games on Steam, and they're a lot of fun, especially to do with like on a rainy day with your partner or your friends or something like that. And they're really compelling and a lot of fun. And I'm a sucker for any of those types of games. Absolutely. And this is super stylized and like crazy to look at. And I'm like, all right, I'm sold. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything to get the spouse game.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah. I mean, as for me, definitely, I'm scrolling through this list one more time. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I do like the combat a lot better. I haven't had a chance to watch that Ubisoft showcase that they did on it, but I mean, it's looking like the fact that you can just roam around and not restricted to like a square. I think I'll be more interested in this one than the last one. The last one was good, don't get me wrong, but this is looking like you're gonna have a little bit more freedom, and plus Bowser is on your side, so why not? But um, let's see, another game that kind of interests me was Super Bomberman R2. Um,
Oh yeah,
Bomberman's always fun,
Forgot about
so but so yeah,
yeah.
definitely that's that.
Oh, R1 they didn't do a good
Yeah.
job of, so I'm really hoping
Yeah,
that they bring it with
it looked
R2.
real fun based on the preview I saw. Live Alive, which I
Mm.
talked about earlier, as of what I'm playing. Looks like a game I want to explore deeper into. I did two of the chapters already. I got one more chapter I want to do, and then I'll be done with the demo. And then after that, I'll decide if I want to buy it. And then last game I want to talk about is Railgrade. It just looks really fun and real interesting, and the fact that you have like double decker like railroad tracks kind of reminds me of like Satisfactory. I know Matt talked about Satisfactory a while back, so
Mhm.
I kind of do want to dip into that.
Were you a big
Uh,
fan of Roller Coaster Tycoon?
yeah, I was,
Yeah,
and I
I could
actually have
tell.
one of them. I actually have one of the games in my Nintendo Switch backlog right now, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, the complete
Nice.
edition or something. So I haven't really dipped into it yet. Maybe I'll actually play that and warm up for this game. So we'll just have to wait and see. So overall, I do have a few questions for the both of you. Did this come? Did this direct mini, even though it was just third parties, did this come out strong, swinging, or was it weak? And would you give it like a D or F? We'll start with you, F. Fine. What grade would you give it?
Did you do that on
Of
purpose?
course.
No, no. I thought it was a pretty strong direct. I love seeing the
Mhm.
diversity in games. I think them saying it was a direct mini right off the bat really kind of set my expectations or lowered my expectations to where like I was like okay like I didn't know what to expect actually. I was like a
Mhm.
mini. I was like, so does that mean like we're only gonna get like one or two games, or does that mean like the games are gonna be on lower caliber? Is that gonna be indie?
Yeah, it could mean
But I
anything.
think there was a lot of I think there was a lot of cool announcements in it. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. I think it was actually one of the stronger showcases this summer so
Yeah,
far.
and it was only 26 minutes. It wasn't an hour and 30 minutes like some companies, Microsoft.
Yeah, I give it a B. Yeah, if I had to give it a
Yeah.
letter grade. No.
Max, what were your thoughts on the Direct Mini?
You know what? I agree. Like I was very satisfied with what I saw. No GoldenEye. That was supposed to be promised,
Yeah, yeah, no
or rumored
GoldenEye.
promised, but that's okay.
Mm,
I was very satisfied with what they put out, and um, yeah. And in terms of like, yeah, I'm just happy like third party support. Like I'm a big fan of like accessibility, being able to play any of these games on any different type of platform if you can. Like
yeah,
definitely get on that. But yeah, I would definitely give it B minus because no GoldenEye.
B minus. Okay, fair enough. I would give this thing between an A minus and B plus. It was very good. I mean, it was definitely way better than I thought. And like Fina said, it was one of the better showcases we've seen this summer so
Mhm.
far compared to, other companies. I think, expectations were set when they said mini and, pretty much they just said right off the bat, it's going to be third parties, so none of the first party stuff. So, I mean, I can only really see a person giving this thing like a D or F if, they were expecting to see, some of the first party stuff. But I think they did really well, and like I said, I think you missed out even if you game on other platforms because they had something for everyone here,
Mhm.
in my opinion, quite frankly. So Nintendo, they're doing a good job when it comes, to the third party partnership, and I think it this only continues from here. So definitely, Nintendo is also another place where you can play third party games, not just PlayStation or Xbox. I will say that much about it. All right, so brings us toward the last part of our weekly discussion. Which company is best ready for this holiday season? Is it any of the first party companies, third party companies? Do you think any of them are ready? Do you think all the game have we seen all the games ready to go this holiday season? I mean, I know we see Sony with God of War. I know people were just looming on that.
Mhm.
Xbox really has, I mean, I hate to say it, just the Hot Wheels DLC later this month. Nintendo, They got a couple games coming. They got Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They also got Splatoon coming. And even though it's a third party game, it has Mario in the title, Mario and Rabbids, they got that coming, and it is a Switch exclusive.
Mhm.
So I don't know what company is best ready for it, even from a third party perspective. I really don't know. I mean, maybe one of you guys can help. Finest, do you know who's best ready for this holiday season?
That is a tough question.
I mean, we're at the midway point, so I figured this would be like a good topic to
Yeah,
discuss.
yeah, no, it's and that's the thing. In terms of companies, I feel like most of like the third party releases are coming to multiple
Yeah.
consoles. Like they're coming to PC and Xbox, or they're coming to all the major platforms are coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch,
Hmm.
or Switch and maybe Xbox. Like I feel like most of them are coming multi
Yeah.
platform. So in terms of like the all like the major places you can play, I think you're pretty much covered as far as like a specific developer
Yeah.
that is like more ready to go than another
Hmm.
one. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be any really of the big ones.
Okay.
I would probably say like maybe like THQ might be like a good one that I feel like is like doing all right this
Hmm.
year. Let's
Maybe
see.
Capcom,
Yeah, I was
perhaps.
gonna
I
say
mean,
Capcom.
I mean, I know they have a lot of stuff coming. I mean, they got that.
I I don't know. I don't know if I would say Capcom. Why would you guys say? Before I say why, I'll just say it. Capcom. I feel like they've been doing a good job with their
Mhm.
remakes, but in terms of new releases, I
That's
felt
fair. That's
like
fair.
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
it's still it's still not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mike turned off on you again, but yeah, I think we
Yeah, don't
still
speak
see.
ill of Capcom.
Yeah, yeah. Capcom hates you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, like they have a lot of good collections coming out, but
Mhm.
in terms of like anything new, I mean, I guess it's fair to say, I mean, Street Fighter 6, but we
Yeah.
don't know when that's coming.
Sunbreak.
Yeah, that one too.
Mhm.
All the Resident Evil stuff. And then I know for me, yeah, it's a real tough question. I would say from a first party perspective, it'd have to be between Nintendo and PlayStation. Xbox, no, not so much,
Mhm.
especially with Starfield and Redfall being pushed back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we all understand why games get pushed back, but if those were just the games you were just mainly banking on for the year, you're in trouble. You better be offering something great on that Game Pass because
actually. Oh, well. Okay, no, not for. No, actually, I got
you,
it. It's gonna be Square
Square
Enix.
Enix. Okay.
Ah. Yeah.
Square Enix is
Hmm.
I think is has it together. I think they're actually I think they're doing
Hmm.
incredible. What was it? Was it from the direct? I think
Mhm.
Harvestella was one game that they're coming out with. They have
Yep.
Forspoken. They also have Final Fantasy 16 in the works. They did the direct. They have Crisis Core coming, along with Reborn, Final Fantasy
Mhm.
Reborn coming next year. I mean, they just they had Guardians of the Galaxy last year. They're still there's they were doing the Avengers. I don't know how that works since they
Hmm.
sold. Did they sell Crystal
Yeah,
Dynamics?
they
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah, they did.
does that mean Square Enix is still doing the Avengers?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It's kind of that's a gray area right now, quite frankly.
Yeah. So regardless, I think they're doing it better than in terms of consistency and actually like quality of
Mhm.
games. I'm probably gonna have to say they're doing better than any other company right now.
Okay.
And
Mm,
cadence, like their cadence is insane
Mhm.
right
yeah.
now.
What about you, Max? Any thoughts on what company, first party or third party, is doing? You think's best ready for a holiday 2022?
Well, I have to agree with both of you on a lot of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Xbox is definitely not a contender in this at all. And
No.
that makes me really sad because of, I don't know, Xbox was where I started gaming. It was my very
Yeah.
first console, and I went all the way up to the 360. And like, I remember just being so excited for things like Halo and Gears of War. But like, if you were to ask me, like, what are some of the, and that's one of the biggest things too, is like Xbox exclusives. They ride that Halo train like into the ground, where like Halo used to be an event. It used to be such a big deal, and now it's just
Yeah. Oh,
now
boy.
it's just like it's just a product. Like, well, it was always a product, but like, now I know it's a product. But yeah, I would have to say, yeah, just between Sony and Nintendo, to be honest with you, like, and yeah, I'm most excited for all of the third party stuff. Like I said, I'm a big fan of gaming accessibility. If you can play it on any sort of console, PC, I'll even allow phones, like, just go for it. Like, it's tough to say. And Square Enix, you're right. Like, it hasn't tripped over itself at the moment, in terms of like all of the things that are coming out. I am excited for Capcom, even though a lot of that is going to be remakes of Resident Evil 4, for example.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm totally excited for Capcom too. I'm getting the Darkstalkers collection. What's that? The Capcom Fighting Collection.
The Fighting Collection.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting when the Mega Man Collection comes out in 2023. I'm getting that Street Fighter 6. I will be getting that. Like, I'm such a huge Capcom fan.
Capcom.
Also, so
no, absolutely.
Yeah, I know for me, one of the games coming to Game Pass that was on the list coming from Capcom. Let me pull up the article real quick. Capcom Arcade Second Stadium Bundle. I'm getting that. I'm going to be getting that later this month. So Capcom, they're all over the place. I mean, they do have a lot of remakes, and they're one of the better companies when it comes to preserving their retro collections. I think they're very good with that.
Yeah, if you want Street Fighter 2 Turbo, you can get that.
Yeah, you can get that
like 20 different ways.
Yeah, so so I think they definitely have that. So I'm very excited for what Capcom has. I'm also excited, Sega. I think we end up talking about them every other week, so we'll have to just wait and see what they do with Sonic. I mean, I hope I hope they knock it out of the park with the game. I really do. So for me, like with the third parties, it's kind of just all over the place. I'm excited just for everything that they got coming, but from the first party perspective, it's right now until I hear something from God of War and a few other of the Nintendo properties. It's a tie between PlayStation and Nintendo. Xbox, like you said, Max, they're just out of the conversation when it comes to that.
Hey, no cop outs, no ties, bud. Is it PlayStation or Nintendo?
Right now, Nintendo. Just because of what they got. Just because of what they got coming.
What do they have?
Xenoblade Chronicle 3. They got Splatoon. They got the Mario plus Rabbids game, and then I know they've been speculating on announcing something else. So right now, I would have to say they're in the lead. I know until I see God of War, I just think what else has PlayStation got? They got that Forspoken, right?
Yeah.
They got that.
Yeah, they have Forspoken. They have Horizon Zero Dawn.
Spider-Man eventually.
They have Gran Turismo. Spider-Man 2 is coming out. That's next year, though. I would give it I am a little bit more of a fanboy. I'm a little biased.
Yeah, you are.
But I would say PlayStation over Nintendo.
I'm just saying right now, Nintendo. I mean, just based on what they have. I mean, I know the new Splatoon game is going to make some noise this fall, and Mario and Rabbids.
Is it though?
Yeah. You never know.
That first trailer was horrible. I'm sorry. That Splatoon 3 trailer was pretty bad.
We'll see. And then, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I know a lot of people were excited for that.
Man,
so,
I don't know if I have any more life in me to like commit to more Xenoblade. That game is so long.
It is. It is. I mean, I have 2 of them, and I have not finished either one of them. So they are long.
When they stopped doing Xenogears and they went to Xenoblade, I was like, no.
Yeah, they're good games. They're just very long. And then, but yeah, from a third party perspective, it's looking really good this holiday season. Looking at the list right now, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, November 18th for the Switch. So that's
true.
Yeah. So that's I knew they had something else coming out, but now I'm just getting so. I mean, like I said,
Cap.
yeah. What are you saying?
I was just gonna say Capcom heard us. They just sent me an email, and it says Capcom's midsummer sale, and then they have discounts on Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, Devil May Cry, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Horizon, and so
This-
forth. But anyway, sorry to center it.
This
It's all
episode
good.
brought to you by Capcom. Capcom.
Capcom, if you want to sponsor us, we're here. No.
Buy it now. Buy Capcom.
All right. Thank you for your input on that question I had. I think it was a good mid year with it being July 1st. Oh yeah, before we continue, Max, I forgot to tell you this. Happy Canada Day,
Thank you.
July 1st. Yeah.
It's
All
about to
right.
like really storm outside, so I doubt there'll be a ton of fireworks, but Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
There you
yeah,
go. Love it.
All right, so we're gonna go through the release rundown and read some comments, and then we'll close the show. So release rundown for next week. Match Point. We talked about this. Tennis Championships is coming to the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC July 7th. July 8th, we got Arcade Geddon, which we talked about earlier, coming to the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, and PC July 8th. Also on July 8th, Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. It looks like a really good game. And Madison coming to the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And then another game, we forgot the. Well, it's not so much we forgot. We do our best to try to get all the games out to you that are coming out for the week. I felt like this game was overlooked because it came out on the same day as Shredder's Revenge on June 16th, and it wasn't on the list that we usually go off of. So I wanted to give this game some love. I was actually going to try to give it some love a few days ago, but since I had time to prepare this time, it's Final Vendetta. Good beat 'em up.
I just saw this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. It's out now. Very good game. And then if you have a PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, you can use backward compatibility, of course, to play it. So just figured I'd show this game some love. So it's out now for those of you beat 'em up fans out there. I know we talked about quite a bit of the games. Madison, do you think that's going to be a good one? Max?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm pretty interested into some
Yeah, I want to.
spooky first-person horror.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I want to definitely check it out. See what it'll bring and all that good stuff.
We've actually talked about Madison before. When preparing the episode, I saw it was under a different name though. So they changed the name for the
they
game,
did.
and they pushed the release date back. So I'm kind of curious about that.
okay.
But yeah, it looks terrifying. So I won't be playing it.
All right. That being said, I know Klonoa, we talked about that one looks pretty good, and then Arcade Geddon. I'm definitely gonna get that next week on.
Oh, looks like you froze. There you go. You froze for a second.
Oh
What'd
yeah,
you say? You're gonna get it on what?
yeah. Arcade Geddon. I'm gonna get it on PS on my PlayStation 5.
Yeah, me too, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna download that, and then Match Point. I'm not a big tennis fan, so I'll be passing on that game. So
I'm always shocked when I see like what is it? The cycling games,
Oh, yeah.
like the Grand Tour, like or
cycling games.
I see, like,
Tour de France.
or I see like tennis games or just like really niche games. It always surprised me that they like developers are getting paid to make those games. Because I'm always curious to who plays
Yeah.
them.
Well,
People are secretly playing them. I just don't know those people.
I mean,
Alright.
what's the difference between that and like Mario Tennis, right?
I guess.
A lot.
Well,
A lot. There's a lot.
I don't know.
And if you want to make that comparison, sure. But all right.
It's tennis.
All right. Gonna read some comments. We had Autumn. Thank you for joining us once again. We'll read some of her comments. She had one comment for you, Max. Keep Advil and more, and Olay based sunscreen will help with the sunburn heal quicker. So she gave you some
perfect.
sunscreen. She gave you some sunscreen advice.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
She also had a comment that I thought was pretty funny about Sea of Thieves. Reminds me of Bad Gilligan's Island episode. Even just watching the game makes me seasick. I thought that was pretty funny. She's interested in the Final Vendetta, which you just saw right now. Any of others Autumn's comments that you would like to read, Finance or Max, while we're looking at them?
No, I think that covers it. Autumn is a champ. I appreciate her just writing in all the time.
Thank you, Autumn.
Yeah,
I agree with the with now that you mentioned that the new Genesis controller looks like a fight stick.
Oh yeah, I wanted to read that one too. I was looking at that one. Yeah, the fight stick. That was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think is more uncomfortable, the fight stick or the new controller? We'll find out.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Well, I mean, it's all more comfortable than the N64 controller.
I mean, it's no contest.
Yeah, no contest, definitely. All right, guys. Well, definitely, if you stuck around the whole time, thank you for doing so. We appreciate it. This will do it for episode 94 of the Game & Watch podcast. Check us out next week for another episode. For Finest, Review Gaming, Max from the Loading Bar podcast. I'm Too Tall for You Fool, or Justin, saying so long. Tune in next week for some more content. Follow us on all our social media handles. And we are out. It's been fun. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Later,
Bye.
y'all.